be blessed by the divine. With the blessings of divine and our Guru Swamiji Vedatri Maharishi, I'm very happy to welcome you all for the 18th session of Consciousness 360 online conference. As per our routine, we will start our program by getting the blessings from our divine and our Guru Swamiji Vedatri Maharishi. To guide us on meditation, today we have with us very inspiring personality, Professor Kumaresan from Qatar. He was an IT professional, worked in Canada, Dubai, and presently he is in Qatar. Today, WhatsApp, the social media platform, has become the second hand for all of us, right? It is surprising that the professor does not even have WhatsApp and he gets connected only through emails and phone calls. Very dedicated soul to Vedatrium. His entire family is in great service to Sky System, especially the hospitality in Qatar. Make us feel home. Anytime, any help, he will be there. For taking classes, he will be the first. It is a privilege to have you with us, sir. Please guide us on the meditation today.
Good evening. Good evening to all of you. Let's start meditation with prayer for divinity and prayer for Guru. Prayer for divinity, becoming active, truth, the primordial state, transform into the particles which then associate to clash and unite, come together and separate, form the elements, matter in 5 states, the planets and stars and all things that live, with sensory perception from single to 5, as well as man with his ability to know right from wrong, let happiness through service grow. Prayer for Guru. Your gentle touch between my eyebrows awakened my life force. Meditation at Turiya removed my imprints, revealed myself. To me, free of my imprints, one with the absolute, I realize from whence I come, the effects of my ill deeds becoming evident, my senses I overcome. The life force within me and God in the life force, all made clear to me. The ways to win people through deeds of virtue, now easy for me to see. Kaya Kalpa, exercises, and Karma Yoga, all taught with the sole aim of emancipation of mankind. Beloved Guru, long live thy fame. Today we will do Duriya meditation, Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, left hand Chin Mudra, right hand Nashika Mudra. Breathe in through one nostril and breathe out through the other nostril very slowly. Clearance practice. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is purified by the divine power. The divine energy descends upon us. Our body and soul are purified and blessed. The divine energy descends upon us. Our body and soul are purified and blessed. The divine energy descends upon us. Our body and soul are purified and blessed. The divine power may protect us, guide us, and lead us in all our activities, day and night, at all times and at all places. Salutations to Mother. Salutations to Father. Salutations to Guru Sri Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi. We are doing Duriya meditation. Start the meditation at Agna. Those who have not learned meditation, you can breathe in, watch mentally your breathing, breathe in and breathe out. The air going through your nose, watch your breathe in and breathe out. Others, Agna. Duriyam, Duriyam. Be blessed by the divine. We are concluding the meditation. By the grace of the divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, and wisdom. By the grace of the divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, and wisdom. By the grace of the divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, and wisdom. Blessings. Bring mentally into your picture and bless the person you're blessing. Bless your life partner. Bless your children. Bless your brothers and sisters. Bless your close relatives and friends. Bless all those who are associated with your day-to-day activities. Bless the enemies or miscreants, if any, that they may also change and lead a corrected life. Vedatriyam, propounded by our Guru Vedatri Maharishi, be blessed by the divine. The World Community Service Center, be blessed by the divine. The Temple of Consciousness at Aliyar, be blessed by the divine. Twofold moral principle. I in my life will not cause any sufferings to the body or mind of any person. I will strive to remove the miseries of others to the extent possible. Special blessings. May the whole world live in good health and total relief from corona, be blessed by the divine. May peace prevail within us. May peace prevail around us. May peace prevail all over the world. Peace, peace, peace. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful journey of self-realization through your meditation. Consciousness 360, an amazing platform developed by World Community Service Center, Research and Development Department to bring together like-minded people who want to travel along in the journey of consciousness, compiling and consolidating Vedatri Maharishi's teachings and concepts. In this journey of Consciousness 360, we are here on the 18th week of conference, and today's talk is on cause and effect system. So to start, to inaugurate our session today, we have with us Dr. Thavamani from Sharjah. Dr. Thavamani is a gynecologist by profession, so naturally a loving human being. She is also a yoga therapist, completed her postgraduate diploma in yoga therapy for doctors in Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusthana Samastana, S. Vyasa Yoga University, Bangalore. And she is also a Sky professor. She is practicing Sky Yoga for almost 10 years now. She is passionate to research on Sky system with women health and child health. She has never left her prescriptions without Sky practice for her patients. So, such a wonderful, inspiring personality. I request you for the inaugural address today, ma'am.
Be blessed by the divine. Salutations to Mother, Father, and Guru Maharishi Vethathri. May the divine power protect us, guide us, and lead us day and night at all times, at all places, in all our activities. It's a great honor to give this welcome address in this 360-degree consciousness forum. Thanks to the World Community Service Center and the entire team for this wonderful opportunity, especially to Dr. Rabindranath for the invitation, the wonderful services, the motivation behind this great forum. I welcome each and every one of you present here. Welcome to the awesome comparer, Mrs. Shubhavahini, Mr. Murugeshan, Kumareshan, Dr. Rabindranath, Mr. Muthu Ayya, Dr. Lakshmanan Ayya, and each and every one of you present here. It's a great privilege to hear from our senior most professor, Dr. Lakshmanan Ayya, on this cause and effect in 360-degree angle. I met Dr. Lakshmanan Ayya in Alia during the adolescent camp. Always a father figure or a grandfather figure comes in our mind when we remember Lakshmanan, Dr. Lakshmanan. All these adolescent children are amazed with this knowledge he has. And every day we used to go for a morning walk, that is nature walk, early morning 5:30. Can we imagine adolescent children getting up at 5:30 in the morning? We all used to walk in the nature. And I was really amazed by the knowledge he has on this one sense, living beings, all the plants and trees. And for being an allopathy doctor, it's really a great revision how most of the medicines come from plants. And these children, these adolescent children are not much aware of this. And coming from the senior professor is a great privilege for all of us. And his blessing therapy is another great miracle. We see the beautiful flowers and the lady's fingers and so many other vegetables growing so beautifully with his blessing therapy. Actually, in allopathy, there is no blessing therapy. That's how I clubbed this spirituality and science into my treatment protocols. Especially in this present situation of coronavirus, it's a great example, the cause and effect theory. Maharishi always stressed on living together of self, society, and the nature. But what we have done as sixth-sense human beings, we have removed so many of the other living beings, like plants. We just chopped off just because we need a lot of materialistic wealth, buildings, and so many things. So alas, now we are in shortage of oxygen. Cylinders of oxygen are coming from other countries and other states just because we have to breathe in oxygen. Mother Nature has provided so much of oxygen for us, but what is the cause and effect? The cause, what we did, and the effect, what we are suffering now. Same thing with the lifestyle diseases also. Just because we don't have moderation of our food, moderation of in our work, we don't have any moderation in our sleep, as well as our sexual life, as well as our thoughts. It has led into so many diseases, either communicable diseases or non-communicable diseases like obesity, diabetes, hypertension. Most of us are struggling to give treatment because when it comes to allopathy, they would have gone to all the places and they come to us. We have to do customer service. So customer need is most important. But if they understand the spirituality behind these diseases, what is the purpose of my life? Why am I here? What is divinity? All those things, if they understand, as a patient as well as a doctor, we can lead a very peaceful and happy life, as Maharishi Vethathiri has told us. All our basic need is to be peaceful, happy, and to live life peacefully. So, but as a sixth-sensed animals, as human beings, we are always against nature. We want to do something new, and we are seeing the effects of that. What is the spirituality behind everything? There is none other than Dr. Lakshmanan Iyer who can explain, who can directly tell us all about the cause and effect of science as well as spirituality. Welcome to each and every one of you for this wonderful session of 360-degree consciousness of cause and effect, being beautifully explained by Dr. Lakshmanan Iyer. Welcome to each and every one of you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inaugural address. Cause and effect. Man always wanted to do what he likes, what his mind likes. If we see a gulab jamun, I always wish I want to have it. And similarly, the man always wishes to have the result as he wishes. But generally, the results are not at all as per his wish, right?
So, yeah, face la light adikirapla panni.
Why is it happening? We will need to understand why the action and the results are always not matching. And that is why we have with us our respected professor, senior professor, Dr. S. Lakshmanan Iyer today to give us the speech on the talk on cause and effect system. To introduce Lakshmanan Iyer, he is an agricultural graduate, postgraduate, and doctor in agricultural entomology. Swamiji has taught us the divine protection, but even before that, by profession, he is already responsible for plant protection. So naturally, it is the gift for us, gift given by Swamiji, and also for our system. Lakshmanan Iyer is a gift for our system. He has contributed so much on the plant protection, especially implementing the blessings on the crops. He has got initiated by Swamiji in 1968, almost 42 years. He is with our system, and he has become the ardent follower, and there are a lot of things we will need to tell about him, the research that he has taken it forward. So we are very much excited, as Dr. Thavamani said, he is a fatherly figure for all of us over here. We welcome you for this session of Consciousness 360, sir. Yes, sir. Lakshmanan Iyer?
Yeah. Yes. Am I audible? Yes, I am very happy to see you all. Are you able to see me?
Yes.
Okay.
We can see you, and you are also audible.
Okay. I'll be on video for a while only, because there is no power supply at all for the past 2 days. Actually, it is a very torrential rain, and for all those things been cut. Even I'm working only with a hand phone, so my excuse for that. I'll be cutting the video, and I'll be with the audio alone. I'm always thankful for you all for inviting me. Before that, I bring to my mind the great divine and my reverence and salutations to our Guru Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharishi. It is because of that only I am in front of you. What I have understood a little about the nature, I am going to present to you all. First, I am very much thankful for the elaborate efforts Dr. Rabindranath had made to assemble all these professors and then requesting them to present the Vedatrian philosophy. In that manner, I am also in front of you. He had assigned a topic called cause and effect system. I understand that many other people also presented the same paper before I do it. Even then, I present in my own way what I have understood. Dear friends, I am very much thankful also for Dr. Dhavamani, who had given a narration about my activities on the angle of research worker and also what I learned from our Guru Vethathiri Maharishi and how I am living in. The next, I am to thank also Subha Vahini, who did a good compare. And then I thank all those who are linked through this system to attend the topic on cause and effect system. This is a very, very important topic that we have to understand and realize the truth behind it and feel for that its necessity and application in life to reach the goal of life. It is a few words about cause and effect system. I enter into the topic cause and effect system. Now I am cutting the video. I will be only with the audio system. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Cause and effect system of the divine. We have to understand well the divine nature, its qualities, and how it functions, how it got transformed from totality, from absolute space level up to human level. These are all very important basic things we have to do. Many earlier speakers would have enlightened these aspects. So I go straight into the topic, cause and effect system. As the mind of human is very peripheral in function of consciousness and is not able to understand the great potential of its own appropriately because of its limitedness, conditioning, and false imagination. Even scientists are, for the most part, working with their peripheral stage of consciousness only through the senses and through the sensitive instrument to amplify the power of senses. That's all they are doing till now. They don't go penetratively using their brain to see deeper into the absoluteness. They could not go beyond the material level and reach the subconscious level to its fullest depth. Hence, their understandings are very much limited. But the philosophers who contributed to the wellness of mankind had the capacity of reducing their mental frequencies to the subtlest state, up to an infinitive state. Here, the nature itself reveals all the secrets of its existence and the functioning up to them. To understand the nature's functioning, Tattvajnani Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharishi, in his lectures, gives us the following propositions to understand the law of karma, otherwise the law of cause and effect system. In summary, the thought force is akin to the wave theory that follows the law of physics. Every clash of waves causes an impact that subjectively affects everything on which it impinges. 2, this effect is called imprint. Every imprint qualifies the character of the one who receives it. The same way, any wave starting from one source induces the same character upon the receptor. The law of nature is of great importance for harmony, satisfaction, and peace in nature. For that, knowledge about the existence of universal being, living system, life force, and the law of cause and effect system is very, very essential. Knowledge about these is very fundamental to shape human behavior for a prosperous and peaceful life. Scientists who are committed to understanding the deep nuances of nature may come forward by themselves to explore the hidden facts of nature. The personality of man is conditioned by the imprints of all of his actions and experiences of the present life and those of inherited imprints of past lives through innumerable generations. All experiences, starting from absolute space till now, are with him. His body is a highly sophisticated structure constructed by the superconsciousness through millions of generations. In the body of man, consciousness can play its full potential of intricate and multifarious functions. Every thought or action becomes a channeling pattern in the flow of conversion and consumption of biomagnetism. Thought or action and their experiences become imprints and condition the personality of a man. These imprints are registered in the central nervous system, the autonomous nervous system, and in the universe as a whole. One could not pluck a flower without troubling a star. This is an eloquent line from Francis Thompson to describe this phenomenon. This explains very well the unified force of magnetism, highly described by our Guru Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharishi. Since some people who are doubtful about the law of karma, they are not able to realize fully the cause and effect system due to their own limitations. They ignore it thereby and they discard the law of karma. This is the funniest part, I can say this way. Therefore, the true knowledge about the universal being of universal or the universal consciousness and the law of cause and effect system is of paramount importance in the life of man. Vedatri Maharishi's expression of cause and effect system is more assertive on the thoughts of earlier philosophers. This is very important. The intricacies of understanding and describing the deep meanings of that remained unexplained. This consequently led to the blind following in the worship of God. Through the parihar, or otherwise called indemnity or compensation method, their verses contain the inherent truth of what Swamiji has explained in his philosophy. The only difference being the simple and the direct expression for the understanding by a common man. This simplification by Swamiji on the eternal truth is very vital for understanding by the scientific community, apart from the present younger generation who are highly backed up with deep and rational thinking. It is very vital for them to understand and evolve as a new generation for respecting the self, the society, and the nature. Understanding the flawless function of nature will instill in them the unfailing law of nature, which is the cause and effect system. This will help the future world to a very harmonious and non-illusionary life and make them a responsible citizens of the world. Though this may look idealistic, it has to come to reality. What else we are going to achieve? The following poems of earlier stages highlight this truth. Towards this, a sage expresses his views in his poem, carrying the following meaning, explaining the goal of life and the way to live. I put it in Tamil, then I will tell the meaning of it. Nandrai ஞானம் கடந்து போய் நல் இந்திரியமெல்லாம் ஈர்த்து ஒன்றாய் கிடந்த அரும்பெரும்பாள் உவப்பில் அதனை உணர்ந்து உணர்ந்து சென்று ஆங்கு இன்ப துன்பங்கள் செற்று களைந்து பசை அற்றால் அன்றே அப்போதே வீடு அதுவே வீடு வீடாமே என்று திருவாய்மொழியில வருகின்ற இந்த சொல் தான் நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். அதோட இங்கிலீஷ் எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் இப்போ நான் சொல்றேன். I give the meaning of that poem. Go beyond the wisdom of sensual pleasures for which humans are well accustomed by retrieving them from the clutches of the sense organs and undue attachment that will lead to the state of realization of the self or the realization of truth and attainment, otherwise relief from the cycle of birth. Relieving from the cycle of birth is the prime aim or otherwise goal of life. Hence, the understanding and realization of universal being will liberate man from body-limited ego. Realization of self will develop awareness about the flawless function of the universal consciousness. It will also liberate man from illusionary perceptions through sensual pleasure. This will help him to maintain limited methods in his activities, avoid conflicts, and maintain harmony within the self and the society. As I mentioned earlier, the cause and effect system is constantly working and it is flawless. For example, if seeds of spinach, carrot, amaranthus like, if seeds of spinach is sown, it germinates in 5 days, while a mature coconut seed takes 5 months for germination. It is not reasonable to expect a coconut seedling on the third day itself after sowing. Likewise, the result of an action will come certainly and at an appropriate time. This is very, very important. Regarding this, Yogiraj Vedatri Maharshi gives a poem. I read it out. சிறுதவறு பெருந்துன்பம் விளைத்தல் கண்டு சிலர் வினையின் பயன் கொள்கை தவறு என்பார்கள். நிறுவையிலே எடைக்கல் ஓர் தட்டில் வைத்து நேரெதிரில் இருக்கும் பொருள் வைத்து நிற்கும் போது இறுதியிலே வைக்கும் பொருள் சிறிதென்றாலும் இதற்கு முன்னம் வைத்ததெல்லாம் சேர்ந்தெழுத்தும் பெரும் உண்மை சான்றாகும். முன்னிருப்பான் பெருந்தீய பதிவு சிறுதவரால் ஓங்கும். The translation is as follows. At times, a tiny little fault might cause immense suffering, and thereby we may seek to doubt the law of action and result. Let me explain the point through the example of a balance of 2 pans used for weighing. The pointer stands steady at 90 degrees when the commodity equals the weights on other side. If now overload the slightest extent even, the pointer tilts to the right, alarmingly indeed. Likewise, earlier stock of the imprints in your account is activated now through the little fault. Inexorable is the law of action and result. And if you grasp its logic, you can understand up to the misery. Another poem I like to mention here, it's also in Tamil, given by Sage Pattinattar. To bring to the constant awareness of cause and effect system and the need to keep that in our mind always. Regarding that, he gives this poem. எத்தொழிலை செய்தாலும் ஏதவஸ்தை பட்டாலும் முத்தர் மனம் இருக்கும் மோனத்தே வித்தகமாய் தாதி இரு கைவீசி நடந்தாலும் தாதி மனம் இருக்கும் நீர்குடத்தே. He says, he insists on the constant awareness of cause and effect system. He mentions a girl carrying a mud pot full of water on her head and walking joyfully, swinging her hands. Even while not holding the mud pot, her consciousness will be on the care of mud pot over her head. Likewise, whatever may be the difficulties in life, a wise person's mind will be on the great truth of divine consciousness once he or she understand the cause and effect system. In the course of time, the principle of cause and effect system was not properly explained in places of worship, which led to the misunderstanding about it and paved way for the current system of parigar, otherwise called indemnity or compensation method. What is a parigar? Let us see through an example. In olden days, when laymen were not able to think rationally and understand the existence and the functioning of Almighty God, to be absolute space, there was a need for personification of God by the philosophers. This helped to convince the people that God is the supreme and it is governing the whole of mankind and nature. In this attempt, they brought in idol worship accordingly to their occupation, mode of life, and the mind. The personification of God led to the worship of different forms of idols. Such places of worship became places of reverence. After offering worship, the philosopher explained the need to live a virtuous life to attain moksha, nirvana, or viduver, or heaven, or liberation from the birth cycle. Common people could not understand the principles behind this concept. Hence, the philosopher brought in some tactics to make people to follow the virtuousness in their life. In that, he said that all good things done by them in their life will be noted, and at the end of their life, their soul will be taken to heaven, Swargam, where they will enjoy insatiable pleasure, while wrongdoers will be sent to hell, Naragam, where they have to suffer intolerable treatments. These thoughts are common in every religion. Now we can see the advent of Parigar system. The compensation or indemnity or Parigar method has been in existence for centuries in all cultures throughout the world. This Parigar method or approach would have come to vogue through some happenings in normal life. A happening should have occurred to a farmer when his crop was totally destroyed because of non-understanding among farmers themselves. When people of the village assembled at the temple for worship, the affected farmer pleaded to the priest that somebody has destroyed the whole crop that caused him a very big loss and worries. When the worship was over, the priest explained to the mass that the person who had caused this loss has to suffer throughout his life. Further, he will be sent to hell. And the curses of the affected person will not only harm the doer of the damage, but also their descendants through generations. If the doer repents and comes forward to compensate for the loss, he will be pardoned by God. The priest also announced that the person who did this act may come forward separately to confess it. When worship is over and all the people had dispersed, the person who destroyed the crop came to the priest unnoticed by others and pleaded for his guilt. Further, he agreed to pay for the loss of the crop as compensation, and he did so. On the next time of worship, the priest announced the compensation to the affected farmer. The priest did not mention the person who is responsible for the damage. Had the priest mentioned it in the assembly, the villagers will harm him. And the priest appealed to the people of the village not to probe further to know the person who committed the damage. This kind of paying for the damage result in the present system of Parihar. In the course of time, it was misunderstood or misinterpreted, and it continues even today as Parihar for parihar or indemnity for their sins or sufferings. Without understanding the irrefutable and unchangeable law of cause and effect system of the divine, people commit wrong deeds by habits. When results come as a suffering, they go to places of worship for remedies. There, they were mostly guided. I repeat, they were mostly guided to visit different places of worship after taking a holy dip in holy rivers and contribute some offering as money or material to God as remedies for their sins. This led further to non-understanding of cause and effect system of nature. In the course of time, when people faced problems in their life, they went to places of worship and pleaded for mercy for their wrongdoings, whether committed knowingly or unknowingly. This trend led to the custom of parihar or remedial for their sufferings. Towards this, the sage Tirumular is pointing out rightly through one of his following poems. உள்ளத்தின் உள்ளே உள பல தீர்த்தங்கள் மெல்ல குடைந்து நின்றாடார் வினைகட பள்ளமும் மேடும் பறந்து திரிவரே கள்ள மனமுடை கல்வி இல்லாரே. I give the translation as follows. There in the heart are many hold water. They plunge not, but gently and remove their karma. Hill and valley, they roam, the uneducated, deluded mind. Further, the same Tirumular insists on the necessity of enlightening the self to understand the law of cause and effect system and live without problem through the following poems. விளக்கினை ஏற்றி வெளியை அறிமின் விளக்கினின் முன்னே வேதனை மாறும் விளக்கை விளக்கும் விளக்கு உடையார்கள் விளக்கில் விளங்கும் விளக்கு அவர்தாமே. Here he mentions about the he enlightens us on the need to understand the cause and effect system of the divine. He uses the word comprehend to understand well the qualities of space, the Brahman, which are plenum, force, consciousness, and time. Here, consciousness includes the functional order of divine and the unchangeable and irrefutable law of cause and effect system. விளக்கினின் முன்னே வேதனை மாறும். This is what he insists here. When one understands this action, his action will be based on the results. He will analyze well before committing any action to meet his desire, and that his action should not cause any harm to anybody, either physically or mentally, not only at present, but also in the future, not only to his body, but also to his mind. This unfailing law of cause and effect system of nature is again highlighted through another poem by the sage Tirumular. நெறியை படைத்தான் நெறிஞ்சில் படைத்தான் நெறியில் வழுவின் நெறிஞ்சில் முள் பாயும் நெறியில் வழுவாது இயங்க வல்லார்க்கு நெறியின் நெறிஞ்சில் முள் பாய்களாவே. Like that, he insists. He says, I give the translation of that poem. He created the path, created tribulous thorns. Tribulous thorns in Nerijil Mul, a stumpitan. He created the path, created tribulous thorns also. If one violates the path, the tribulous thorn will pierce. Those who can function without violating the path, the thorn in the path will not pierce. Here, the word path indicates the divine rule, cause and effect system, and compares the inescapable sufferings due to non-respect of the law of nature, that is, the cause and effect system, to the imminent pain caused by the prick of the thorns. This again emphasized by the sage Thiruvalluvar in the following poem. Marandum piran kedu suzhakka suzhin haram suzhum suzhundavan kedu. Thiruvalluvar says that humans are adopted for his habits and customs. Even then, he has to be constantly aware of their action. Otherwise, he has to face the result. Here, he emphasizes the unfailing law of nature, that is the cause and effect system. It is the functional order of the divine called consciousness. One of the excellent concepts explained by Vedatri Maharishi is to bless those who cause trouble. This may seem inappropriate for many, as we commonly retaliate to those who cause the harm, which provide a feeling of relief and satisfaction. This feel of retaliation is not at all needed, as the result of a deed will always ensue without fail at the right moment suitably. Wise people will not even think of cursing or punishing anyone who causes harm. They have the great heart of forgiving them because they have realized that the same divine is also dwelling in them. They pardon them and bless them for the realization of truth. To evaluate the process of cause and effect system on the guidance from our Guru Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi, experimentation was undertaken, as mentioned by Doctor, in plants to assess their response for thought waves by way of blessing them. The initial experimentation trial began as early as 1970s, and their results were published in scientific journals. Recently, similar studies were carried out in crops both at Aliyar and at Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. The outcomes of the trials were promising, resulting in a significant increase in productivity compared to unblessed one. This clearly proves the flawless function of cause and effect system and the efficacy of thought waves. I conclude. The life of an individual as well meshed with the society and nature. Everyone in the society will differ from one another in so many ways, but each one's contribution by way of duties goes only to the society. Understanding this truth will certainly lead one to forgive wrongdoers in a very magnanimous way or manner. This noble attitude is seen in the life of many of the sages or philosophers of all religions. Limiting oneself to the materialistic way of life will not solve the present day problems. How much science has developed to remove the drudgeries of life. The realization of truth about the cause and effect system of the divine is to be well understood, and the mind should be in constant awareness of the functional order of the divine. This knowledge about the law of cause and effect system will result in peaceful coexistence, harmony, and satisfaction in life, which in turn will lead to the perfection of consciousness, which is the goal of life of man. This great truth of cause and effect system is well explained and insisted by our Guru Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi in the philosophy of life. With this, I conclude this topic. Valka Vaiyakam, Valka Vaiyakam, Valka Valamudan. Thanking you all for hearing this topic, cause and effect system.